Hello everybody. So today is today I am going to show off a video on a series of macros that allows you to basically change your jobs without having a clutter of hotbars all across your HUD. So it makes a cleaner HUD layout and able to change your jobs easily with a series of macros. To show you what I mean here, so I'll show you what I mean. So I click this, and then I want to go to say samurai. See that it's really that simple. Like there's like a series of categories that allows me to change jobs based on the categories I select. Now you might be wondering, how in the hell am I doing this? It's quite simple, really. The key theme is having, well, let me show you the macros. So first off, this macro right here is showing off this HUD bar. This HUD bar is always going to look like this. Well, hotbar. Why am I saying HUD bar? This hotbar is always going to look like this, so there's no special hooting happening with this hotbar. Hotbar 5 is the one that's always changing, is the one that's having where the magic is happening. What's happening here, all these macros are doing a copy and paste feature that is copying a certain hotbar from a certain class and pasting it onto this hotbar right here. To show you what I mean, let me switch on over to my summoner, my arcanist. Okay, why is it looking like that? Oh, I know, that's the wrong class. There it is. So this is where all the magic is happening. My summoner or my arcanist has hotbars specifically for the DPS, the tanks, and the healers. And what these macros are doing, they are copying these hotbars and they are pasting it onto this hotbar, allowing me easy access to these class changes without having to swap to Arcanist, without having to do much work. And it's just right there on the get-go, and it's sorted out very nicely. Whereas, but you might be wondering, where's Crafters and Gatherers in this? They are in my Gladiators. They're copying off of the Gladiators hotbars. And this hotbar is giving me some extra mounts here to work with, which is very nice indeed. And to close these hotbars, I just simply click this, and it all goes away. Say I want to go to Gunbreaker. There's all my Gunbreaker her stuff, and close that off, and it's all clear. And say I just want to mount up, say Ozma, and there he is. Very simple and very clean. Now I'll slow down and open up the macros for you to see. So to first start it off, you want a macro that starts the whole process. So this is the macro that starts the whole process. Hotbar display 9 on. This macro is always going to be static. It's always going to look like this. There's no copying and pasting necessary. So you don't need to worry about that. You just need to worry about turning this hotbar on or off. And the way I turn it off, I just use this macro, turning 5 and 9 and 5 off. And 5 is the hotbar that's being copied and pasted onto. So you have the activator and the deactivator, basically. And then here is where I have my DPS has actions. My DPS actions are in Arcanus Hotbar 1. So they're copying off of Arcanus Hotbar 1 and they're pasting it onto Hotbar 5. Now depending on how you have your hotbar set up, if it's a shared hotbar or not. If it is a shared hotbar, meaning like the hotbar is going to be the same across all classes, then you're going to want share. Because that hotbar is always like otherwise that hotbar the command will not work. Because if you were to have current instead of share, the hotbar will not work. The copy and paste will not work. But if your hotbar is not a shared hotbar, then you would use current. If it is a shared hotbar, then you would use share. So it's copy and pasting from Arcanus 1 and putting it onto Hotbar 5. At the same time, it is also displaying Hotbar 5 to show my list of categories here. And the same thing goes for the tanks. Since my tanks are on Arcanus Hotbar 2, it's copying from number 2, pasting it onto here. Healers are on Arcanus number 3, and it's pasting it over here. You can do this for any base any base class, like say like Rogue, Gladiator, Archer, Lancer, whatever. Any base level 1 class that doesn't have a job stone, which is this right here, you can use to work the magic. So you basically can like set up categories for DPS, tanks, healers, crafters, gatherers, mounts, emotes, and some other things possibly. Maybe like potions, food, or whatever. Now these are just extras for me. These macros are just going to display certain hotbars for when I have my Astro up. So if I'm wanting to go to Astro, I would click this button here, and it's displaying these macros here. What these macros are doing, they're targeting specific players in my party list and giving those the cards that I currently have drawn. So right now it's a bad display, but let's just say I drew an Ewer. So I drew a ranged card, and say I want to give it to the range that is in a party position number 3 on my party list. I will want to click this macro here, and will directly give that specific player, that card without me having to target them. And the same thing goes for if I want to give them the crown instead of the card. Same thing goes. I just click on this button here, and it'll give them the card to that specific player. The way that the layout goes is I have these sets targeting player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. One set for each person in the party list. So like if I for whatever reason want to give my card to a tank, my tank is always gotta be be number 2 on my party list. So could either click this button or this button, and it will directly give the card to them without me having to target them, which is very, very handy. So yeah, it's quite simple, quite easy to set up, and very clean. So I'll show it up, let you see the commands. So to turn on the categories, to turn off the categories, along with the copy and paste hotbar, the one with the changing hotbar. Here's the one that will show all the DPS, all the tanks, healers, all the crafters, and the gatherers. And I have one for the mount. And these are just for my cards. Turning these specific hotbars on and off. So yeah, it's that simple. Very easy. You do not have to change. The only thing you would like want to mess around is just like moving your hotbars around, seeing your preferences on where you want them to be positioned. But other than that, there isn't really much messing around with your HUD layouts. It's just turning hotbars on and off, and then just like messing with hotbars from classes that you're not gonna be ever messing with, which is the base level 1 classes that you like, the base ARR classes that you unlock before you get the job stones. That's simple. So hope that this was very helpful. Any questions, comments, and concerns, please let me know down in the comments, or if you know me personally or know any other ways to reach me out, do reach out to me, and I will do my utmost to answer back. With that, y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.